Hi guys, Amy Starr Allen here, and I have an awesome video for you today. Today I am going to talk about the 7 critical rules that you need to follow when you're creating content on the internet. And these are rules that I literally live by, that I think about every single time I create a piece of content. And I wanted to create this video because I see a lot of people creating content that's kind of a waste of time to even bother creating, because it's not the type of content that, it's not epic content. It's not something that people are going to read and comment on and come back to and share and become a follower because of. So I want to talk about the 7 rules that you can follow to make sure that you are creating epic content that people love and will engage with, okay? So let's get right into it. So the first thing is that the first rule is to make sure that you're solving a problem. Before I get started, let me just say this. When you're creating a piece of content, you don't have to follow every single one of the 7 rules in every single piece of content that you create, but you want to try to make sure that you are thinking about the 7 rules and using as many of them as possible each time you create anything, okay? So the first one is to solve a problem. In other words, what is your target audience typing into Google on a daily basis? Typically when people go to Google and type something in the search box, they are trying to solve a problem that they have, whether it's how to change a light bulb or how to change a drill bit or how to fix a flat tire, or it's something like, how to get my blog post to rank in the search engines, or how to edit a video. Whatever it is, you have a niche. That's the first thing. You need to know what your niche is. And then make a list of all the things that people in your niche are searching for. What are the problems that they're needing solved? Because the thing is, if you create a piece of content and it's not searchable, like it's not something that people are actually searching for, nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to find it. And if they happen to stumble upon it somehow, it's not going to be relevant. It's not going to help them in any way. So it's kind of like, what's the point? I'll give you an example. So I've been seeing people posting things on Facebook saying, look, I ranked on the first page of Google for my blog post. And they show a picture of it. And in the search bar it says, all of the amazing things I learned one day when I hung out with a bunch of millionaires. So they ranked number 1 for that. Who do you think is typing that into Google ever? Nobody. If they're typing anything in, they might be typing in like a few keywords that might be in there somewhere. But to say that you've ranked number 1 on Google for a long sentence keyword that, number 1, nobody's ever typing that sentence in. Number 2, it's not solving anybody's problems. Why would somebody waste their time going to the search engines to type that in and search for it? They're not going to. So you want to make sure you're solving a problem that's relevant to your niche. Something that the people in your niche would actually be typing into the search engine so that they can actually find you. Now, I have another whole training that I've done on keyword research. I'm not going to do a keyword research training in this video, but once you know the things that people are typing in, once you know the problems that people are searching for, you want to go and do your keyword research on those keywords for those problems so that you know exactly what keywords you're going to try to rank for. And like I said, that's another discussion. But for one, you need to be solving a problem. That's rule number 1. Okay? Rule number 2 is you need to provide an action for your reader to take. Now again, you don't have to do this in every single piece of content that you create, but if you can provide something for your reader to do where they can leave your post and go, or your video or whatever it is that they're reading or watching, and they can go and immediately implement what you just taught and get a result, they are going to be a loyal follower for life because you have helped them get a result. So if you can give them, an action that they can take in your piece of content, something that they can go and implement right away, all the better. And like I said, you don't have to do this in every piece of content. It's not going to apply to every single piece of content that you write, but the more that you can do it, the better. You can help your readers get a result. And that is how you are going to develop a loyal following, by helping them get a result that they can immediately notice, and they're going to come back. They're going to come back to your blog the next time. They're going to share your post with their friends and say, hey, I just listened to this person and got this result. You need to go read this post too. And that's how your stuff is going to start to go viral as well. So providing an action for people to take is a great way to engage people and develop loyal followers. The next thing is you want to make sure that your content, and again, this doesn't have to apply to every single piece of content, but you want to make sure that your content is relevant to your offer. In other words, if you're blogging, let's say you're blogging and you have a blog and you are writing all of this content and none of it has anything to do with something that you can actually make money from, an offer that you have, whether it's a product, a service, a business opportunity, whatever it is. If your content isn't relevant to that, or you're not bridging it into that in some way, then your blog is not for profit. And what's the point of spending all this time creating all this awesome content if you can't make any money off of it somehow? So you want to make sure that the content that you're creating is relevant to your niche. It's relevant to your offer, so that you can either put links within your content that, in relevant places where it takes people to your offer, or you can bridge at the end into what your offer is. So for example, if my niche is if my niche is internet marketing and I'm helping people make money on the internet, what I can do is I can, within a blog post, if I'm talking about how to make money blogging, in a few different places within my post, I can have, when I'm talking about making money blogging, I can have a link to the blogging platform that I sell, so that when people click on that, I can actually make money from that. Another example would be if I'm blogging about something that has nothing to do with making money blogging. This is another example that I personally do. I have a CrossFit blog. So I'm not even selling anything in the CrossFit niche, but at the end of my posts, I bridge into, would you like to make money blogging about your passions? My passion is CrossFit. What's yours? I can show you how to make money blogging about it. Click here for more information. So do you see, I tied my CrossFit content into my offer. And on that blog, I also have banners that say, learn how to cash in on your passion by blogging about what you love. So do you see what I mean? There's got to be a way for your content to be relevant to your offer. Otherwise, you're a not-for-profit entity, and what's the point, unless you have all the time in the world and blogging is just a hobby for you. So that's number 3. Okay, number 4 is inspire people. A great way to inspire people is by sharing stories. It can be your own stories. If something happened to you that day that's inspiring, share it. Or somebody that had something really cool happen. They hit a milestone. They had a huge success, reaching a certain amount of their income goal. Whatever it is, you can share stories with people. People love stories and they love being inspired. And there's a big difference between motivation and inspiration. So motivation is when you get an idea and you're going to run with it. Inspiration is when an idea gets a hold of you and carries you where you want to go. So when you're inspired, you end up having things accessible to you that you didn't think were accessible. People and resources and all kinds of stuff will show up in the moment of inspiration. And you become a greater person than you ever knew yourself to be. So imagine what will happen if you can inspire people. When they come to your blog or they come to your video and you inspire people and they become, they start to have these experiences of, resources showing up for them and they become a greater person than they thought they knew. That's what inspiration does for people. So if you can plant that in somebody, if you can provide inspiration for somebody, again, they are going to continue to read your stuff. They're going to continue to come back and to latch on to everything that you say. So stories are a great way to inspire people. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5. Again, this definitely isn't going to apply every single time you create a piece of content, but a great thing to create content about is something current. Now, I'm not saying that you need to stay glued to the news. I certainly don't. I don't even have a TV, so I haven't watched the news in probably 20 years. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if something is going on in your niche that's like news, like Facebook just changed their timeline, or like for me that would be relevant to my audience because my audience is on the internet trying to learn to make money on the internet. So if something happens within my niche, I can turn around and share that with my audience. I can be like the go-to person because I'm in the know and I know what's going on. So like I said, you don't have to watch the news, but you can like look at what's trending topics, or just, for me, like I subscribe to some different social media newsletters and stuff. So I always know when, some big update is coming on Facebook or, one of the other social media platforms. I usually know about that before like most people know about it. So I can then, when I find something out, I can turn around and create a piece of content to let my audience know. So what does that do? It creates, it has your audience see you as a person of authority. It has you become the go-to person because they know that you get information before everybody else and you're able to share it with them and keep them in the know about stuff. So that's another awesome thing to do when you're creating a piece of content. And again, this isn't something that you're going to be able to apply to every single piece of content because there's not necessarily going to be something new, current news to share every single day with your audience. But when there is, you want to be the first person to share it. So that's a great thing to create content with. Okay, number 6 is be entertaining and engaging. Okay, there's nothing worse than seeing somebody that's creating content and it's very humdrum, very blasé. They're not really passionate about what they're talking about in their video. Hi, my name's Amy Star Allen, and today I'm going to teach you about 7 things you can do to create epic content on the internet. Do you see the difference between that and like how passionate I am about what I'm sharing with you? And by engaging, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can be engaging. You can, keep your audience involved by asking them specific questions that have to do with them. The other thing I mean by engaging is allowing your audience to be part of your life. Let them see into your personal part of your life as well. Let them feel like they know you. So for example, I often include videos and stories that have my kids in them. My kids are a huge part of my life. So when we're on vacation or we're running a race on Memorial Day or whatever it is, like I'll make a video and share, like this is what I'm doing. When I'm not doing work stuff, this is what my life looks like. Or I'll post a video of me playing guitar, make a music video, because that's another one of my passions is music. So it's not just all business, it's like letting people into my life, into my whole, persona, so that they can connect with me on a deeper level and really feel like they know me. I've had a lot of people actually join me in my business because they could relate to me on one of the other things that I've shared about myself. I have a lot of single moms who connect with me because they know that I'm a single mom and they've seen videos of my kids. I've had a few guys join my team because they play guitar and they've seen me playing guitar, and so we have that in common. So when you share other pieces of yourself with people, it allows them to know you, like you, and trust you on a deeper level. And it also allows them to connect with you in another way besides what you're teaching about business or whatever, that has them want to buy something from you or work with you. So that's what I mean by being engaging with people. And then number 7 is use video. I am such a huge advocate for video because video is a way to connect with your audience on a much deeper level than just simply writing text content. I was really afraid to get on video when I first started doing it because I was afraid that if people could see me and hear my fast-talking New Jersey girl voice and all of that maybe they would be turned off by that. And the fact of the matter is some people might be turned off by you if they see you on video. But that's okay because the people that will relate to you and do connect with you will follow you to the end of the earth. And that's been my experience. And so what video does is it really allows people to know you way better. And the whole goal when you're putting anything out on the internet is to help people get to know you, like you, and trust you. And I cannot think of a better way to do it than with video. The other thing about video is that everybody's using it now. It's a normal modality that pretty much everybody uses when they're creating content on the internet now. It's normal. It's not even like just an extra thing that people do anymore. It's something that pretty much everybody does. So if you're not doing it, it's going to be really hard for you to stand out on the internet. And it's going to be really hard for you to compete with the other people in your niche that are using video. So that's another thing to think about when it comes to video. And I have other trainings as well that I go into more detail about how to get comfortable in front of the camera and how to use video in your marketing, but that's not what I'm going into in this training. I just want to talk about it as a critical rule to think about when you're creating a piece of content. So, as you'll see on this, if you're watching this on my blog, I have a whole blog post with these 7 rules that are written out in detail so that you can understand them, even if there was no video there. But I've also added the video. So what that does is it just creates another way for people to connect. Some people are more visual and they want to watch the video. Some people would rather just read through and not watch the video. So if you have both, then you can connect with both. The other nice thing about the video is for people that aren't on my blog, you might be watching this video on YouTube. If I didn't have a video, then you wouldn't be watching it, you wouldn't be connecting with me at all. So there's a lot of benefits to video. So those are the 7 critical rules to follow when you're creating content on the internet. I hope that's been helpful. Please let me know. If it has, please let me know in the comments below. And if you are not on my blog, you can head over there now and leave a comment. That's where the conversation happens, on amystarallen.com. And if you want more information about me or how you can work with me, I'd love to meet you, and there'll be a link below this video where you can learn more about me as well. So like I said, leave me a comment. I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to helping you some more. Look forward to seeing you in the next video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.